Now this one wins with Nathaniel and the three tips. Now this one wins with Nathaniel and the three tips. Now this one wins with Nathaniel and the three tips.
One wins of 2026.
2026. Happy New Year.
2026. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Merry belated Christmas.
Yeah, I guess it's new since the holidays too.
Yep, yep. Full
Yeah.
break. How's your Christmas?
I mean, I worked. I took the I worked the Christmas and New Year's, but it's like I wanted to. Like I could have requested them off, but they told me it was time and a half, and I'm like, I'm not doing shit anyway, you know. So
Right,
I
right.
got I got a fat
Yeah.
paycheck, so I was happy about that.
You're not, giddy about getting stuff under the tree and waking up in your stockings and stuff.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I don't get presents anymore, you know.
I mean, this is just like the nuanced way of you subtly saying that like you're on the fucking naughty list and
Yeah,
you don't get shit for Christmas. And
yeah.
that's fine. Like,
Santa
same.
forgot
But
about
like,
me. Yeah,
just I own up to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I just messed
I've
up
been
too many
bad.
times.
Yeah. So that's it's been a lot of sad Christmases in such respect.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about you? How was your Christmas?
It was all right. I didn't get my daughter till like noon on Christmas Day, but it was nice to have her like for the next week. So we just like hung out, did fun stuff. We went rock climbing, which is like, indoor rock climbing. So
Yeah, having a kid probably makes Christmas like a little bit more special. Cause like in my shoes, it's like
yeah.
if I'm not going anywhere, it's like okay, yeah, I'll work on Christmas. You're gonna pay me extra. Like it's just I wasn't gonna do
Yeah.
anything anyway, you know.
Yeah, you're at home. It's another day at home.
Yeah, it'd be different if I
Yeah.
like was close to my mom or dad. But like a while ago, I made that decision where it's like I'm not flying to Michigan or Maine for Christmas. Like I'm not going to Michigan or Maine during the winter. That's stupid. Like I'm gonna take a longer trip during the summer, the spring, and it's gonna be a lot nicer. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically how I treat like Thanksgiving and those. Because
Hmm.
I don't have my daughter for those, so it's just like, it's just another day. But
Yeah,
yeah, it is nice on Christmas.
I've never been into holidays that much, regardless. And then feeling like at one point in my life, I felt obligated. It's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. I gotta visit family. But then it's like too many times. It's like you spend a ton on traveling, no matter what you're doing. It's gonna be packed. Like the airports are packed, and then it's the winter too. So if you're flying to Michigan or Maine, this is like a large percent chance that your flight's gonna be messed up. You know, and I've had just too many times where it's like an expensive flight that gets messed up for like a couple day vacation. It's just like, yeah. Certain point, I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
No more holidays. I'm Grinch mode. And ever since then, I've been on the naughty list. I haven't got a present since.
Such is the way. It's like, honestly, with the rising cost of utilities, I could do with some coal in the stocking. Like
Yeah,
that's
right.
not a bad thing anymore. Like, and I'm sure, varying levels and quality of coal versus like how naughty you were, but just like let me know how naughty I got to be to like be, the most efficient, clean burning kind of coal, and then fill that puppy up. I won't put so many chocolate oranges in it.
Right, right, yeah. Santa hasn't got wind of inflation yet, though. And now that he hears
No.
this, the new policy is just going to be to chuck a piece of coal through your window. So it messes up your energy and efficiency accordingly.
Santa, like contrary to the like old myth, Santa's actually the first proponent of clean energy. So he gave up on coal a long time ago. He
Yeah.
just farts in your stocking now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this candy I put in there is a little musty. That's weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
About New
So
Year's, did you like stay up and do anything for it?
yeah, because I had my daughter. So I mean, I stay up to midnight every night anyways. I'm a night owl. But
Mm.
uh, it was last two times I had her, so this year and then 2 years ago. She's been old enough to stay up. So, she usually goes to bed about 9. So it's like 9:30, she starts getting wild, and
Hmm.
10 o'clock, she's like batshit goofy. And then like at 11 o'clock, it's like, we gonna make it?
Hmm.
You gonna survive? But she did it, so it was fun.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I went to bed early. I got woken up by fireworks though, so there you go.
Yeah, I
I was
bet.
up
Yeah.
for it, you know. There's a couple
Man.
there. There's like Is that fireworks? I think there was like some fireworks and then one person shooting a handgun off into the air.
Well, see, that's different from here because I kept listening, going, are there fireworks mixed into the gunfire?
Yeah, right.
Like there were multiple full automatics going
You
off for
heard
a
more full
while.
autos, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they were like, I saw a lot of things they were pushing for like, alternatives, especially the police, like, don't fire your guns, do other things. I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is Detroit, man. Like people are dumb.
I
Like
hate
they
I
could
hate
have
when
fired
the
their guns.
government does stuff like that. Like here, they do it with like subway surfing because kids have been dying. Like subway surfing's a trend again. You know what that is?
No.
That's one like it's like a thing. I think back when the trains were full of graffiti and stuff, it became a trend. Like subway surfing, where you climb out of the train and you like ride on top of the subway. And it's become a thing again because I think kids are like doing that and for putting it on TikTok and stuff. And of course they're dying.
Yeah.
A lot of them are dying doing it. So the city has this like big like no subway surfing. It's like we paid this actor here to tell you that subway surfing isn't cool, and it's like that doesn't work. Like, first of all, you made it just a little bit cooler now. Like they want to do it, and like even if you could possibly change someone's mind, it's like the person that's subway surfing is the person that like you're not going to convince to not do it. It's like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, like for the gun thing, I feel like the only fix would be like, you know, December, you have to like raise the price of ammunition by like 1,000%,
Yeah,
right? Like just like through the first of the year, just make it like unreasonable to actually buy ammunition.
right. Yeah,
The people would be like, oh man, I don't know, $1,000 a shot.
right. Because yeah, the people that shoot their guns off into the air for New Year's are not the people that like stockpile ammo.
Right.
Those people have like cases of ammo and they're like, oh, I really love my 44, but that's a buck a shot. Like, and they never shoot it.
Yeah. It's like it's fine the rest of the year. You can drop it, but like around New Year's and the 4th of July, you got to jack it up around then. Just make people think twice about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And also be like, oh no, we might leave it up. You might have to conserve for the rest of your life.
Right, right. Yeah, but it's one of those
Eh,
it's one of those things too. The people that are doing that are like obviously like it overlaps with people that are bad with money, and they would probably still
yeah.
do it anyway. It's like
Which
it's one of those things that you're just not going to change.
let's be honest, people who get joy out of shooting their firearm into the air as in like celebration overlap with people who eat lead paint.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay?
right.
Like this is the crossover.
Yeah, it's like you shoot it up to the air. Oh, gobble it up.
Yeah, exactly. That tastes like childhood.
Yeah, right.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, silly. Guns are cool, but yeah, shooting your gun into the air not as cool. Like when I'm
No.
shooting a gun, like I want to go to like the range and have like a hard target to hit, and I want to feel like a sniper. I want to feel badass.
Or alternatively, up is the wrong direction. Another direction I would shoot is down with two revolvers in an attempt to lift myself up off the ground while saying tarnation, as I have seen done many times by one of my childhood heroes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's a
up,
good one.
no. Down, Yosemite Sam says yes.
It reminds me of my uncle. The one that you worked for. I won't speak ill
Yeah.
of speak ill of people in public. He said it's the thing that like he used to do with his friends was to get like two big revolvers and like dual wield them, and they had a thing at the range where it's like a target that's like coming towards you, and like your goal was to like you had to unload like both revolvers before it came towards you. It's like him describing it, it's like shooting it one handed. It's like trying to get the next shot without like shooting yourself in the arm. Like terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like either either the target gets to you, you shoot yourself, or your wrist breaks. Like one of these things is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, you see those videos of people with a gun they shouldn't be shooting. You grab a revolver and just like flips back at them, back at their face.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that's what Darwin was talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Things like that, you're not gonna change it. You just gotta let nature sort itself out.
Gotta
It is
bite the
what it
bullet.
is. Yeah, yeah, literally. Yeah.
Can you stop a speeding bullet? Once.
Oh, I popped some of those ciders after letting them age. Weren't good. It's just too
That's
sour.
there's another thing though, is that uh fermentation, I didn't really think to bring this up too, but like fermentation is a lot like it's growth, right? So really any drink you ferment really does take a certain age to mature in itself to come into a solid taste. And before then, especially with beer, it will have like a green kind of it's described as like a green taste, almost like it's kind of bitterness, you know.
Yeah, this one it was just sour. I think it's because I used all apple concentrate. Like the recipes I saw, it's like they use partial apple concentrate and then they just use sugar too. And I think it's one of those things like if I back sweetened it, it was just like champagne yeast with pure apple concentrate. It's just like there's a lot of acid in it. You know, it's just very sour.
Well, I didn't realize you didn't like it's also, I mean, it's the closest you can get between like a cider and a vinegar at that point, because your alcohol content is honestly really low. Like there's not very much sugar in like just apple juice, even apple concentrate.
Right,
And
right.
so that's why most people add sugar to get it up to a level that is actually of a cider. Like adding sugar often gets it up to like 5%. They're usually starting at like 3.
Yeah. Let me get that. She's got an alarm going off. Okay, we're back.
I don't think anything whiter has ever appeared on screen than the dancing that I just did.
But yeah, I'm gonna drink them. They're not worth dumping out. But yeah, it's not good. And part of the thing too is I realize when I'm drinking is like I just don't like drinking that much, even in general. And if I do like drinking, like I at this point in my life, I want like a weak beer. You know, I want a Coors or something. It is kind of like stereotypical for like American, but I just want like cheap American beer. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, what are
Yeah.
you laughing at?
Nothing. Nothing. Not a thing. Not laughing at you. No. No.
I want to hear it.
Just just saying. You came to me for advice. I gave you advice. You ignored most of that advice and brewed as your whims told you, and then didn't get what you wanted, and your decision now that is, I guess I don't really like drinking anyways.
I don't like it that much. I don't know. I feel like
I'm just saying, maybe if you followed proper procedures and did things as they were supposed to and got the outcome that's actually expected, you might enjoy it more.
yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. But the point I was gonna get at is like I feel like if I brew something, I'd want to brew beer more because I don't drink a lot cider a lot. You know, it's never really been my thing. It's like I feel like good cider is usually a little sweet, and I'm trying to avoid sweet things in general. You know.
Beer sweet.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't think it has the sugar content of cider. You know, I think a lot of ciders they add a lot of extra sugar just to combat that sourness. You know.
It depends on the cider. Like if you get like a dry cider, it doesn't have as much or nearly any, but like the woodchucks, yeah. The woodchucks, they're making them like fucking sodas.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I bet if I perfected the recipe, if I like, yeah, I think that's now I realize why they add a lot of sugar to the to the recipe. You know.
You can do apartment beer brews too with concentrates.
Yeah, I
You can
know.
get malt extracts.
I'm just not going to do it at this point. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in New York. You know, I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff and then have to move. But like wherever I end
I
up,
think.
hmm?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say if I once I end up in a place where I have space, then I can really think about expanding. You know.
My question was just: you've talked about this before. Uh, do you think you're going to finish the year in New York? Like, have you made any plans? What are you looking at?
Nothing
Just curious.
solid. Nothing solid.
Okay.
Yeah, things are still in the works, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'm tired of it. Amber doesn't like it here either, so
Both of the houses next to me are vacant.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So
They
they
both moved
cost.
out. They both moved out within a month of each other, and I'm like, do they know something I don't know, or am I the problem?
Yeah, right.
As I'm playing like atonal, distorted guitar licks at max volume, I'm like, I wonder why they moved out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could see myself moving to Detroit, honestly.
Most people can't.
Yeah, yeah. Now you're stuck there.
Hey, it's better than where I was.
What, Lansing?
No, I mean, the other place. That was that.
Oh,
I mean, we're not,
yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
life are out what it is, but at least I have a place,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I know my neighbors are armed.
You know,
So shit hits the fan. I know that the neighbors are ready to take fight.
yeah. Do you think they'll be on your team?
My team is staying inside while they hash the shit out with the authorities,
Yeah,
man.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So, up there
That's
in
my.
that bungalow window with some popcorn, like,
That's always been my plan for like if there's ever some like big attack or like New York lost power or like the next hurricane is like I think I'm pretty like forward thinking. I think I got more food in my apartment than most of the other people in the neighborhood. Like I think I can wait it out. It's like I don't think it'll take if something like bad like that happens in New York. I don't think it'll take long for that to sort itself out. Where everyone, it's gonna be a few like warlords left, but pretty much everyone's killed each other or started eating each other already. You know?
I could just see you, like, at the dinner table, like, eating a very thin soup, and there's, like, screaming outside, and then just, like, window blows in from an explosion. You're just like, any day now.
Yeah.
Any day now.
It just used to be like 3 weeks later, and then it's like the last scream. It's like yes, quiet.
I think it's time for a steak.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Ideally, I'd like to get out before then because I don't know. Things are crazy in the world, and whether it's even just like the normal craziness or who knows whenever the next pandemic is going to happen, it's going to happen eventually. It's just a question of when. I don't want to be in New York for the next one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
really
can't imagine.
strongly considered leaving during the first one, and looking back, it's like I think I probably should have just left at that point. Like things have not gotten. It's like it took a really big dive, and then I think we can crawling up back then, but like yeah, it hasn't been a great uptrend.
Things changed a lot. It was unprecedented.
Yeah,
They stopped the NBA.
the NBA. That's the
That's like that, like they shut down professional basketball. You know that shit hit the fan when they shut down professional sports.
yeah. No, it is a big deal. I don't know if they would do it again. You think if we get like bird flu is probably the next one where we get like a really bad bird flu. Do you think they're gonna shut down again, or if they're just saying it's like, now we did that once. Now if you die, you die.
No, here's the problem is that that one was like a test, right? Because like it wasn't targeting everybody, right? It was, I mean, I guess like it was easy to get infected, but like
Most people were
most of
fine.
the people who struggled with it were people who had like pre-existing conditions and were susceptible to that sort of thing, right? But like the perception of how it was handled is so poor that the next one, when it comes, we're not going to take those steps. It's going to take way too long to realize that we have to. But this one's actually going to be fucking like deadly, and
Yeah,
and a lot more people are gonna die. It's gonna be more horrendous. People will be like, "Oh, last time, cry wolf shit," and it's like, no, this one doesn't care how old you are or what's going on in your body. This one is ready to fuck y'all up.
yeah. If we get a bird flu, that'd be a big problem because I think a lot of the bird flus that circulate have like 50% plus mortality rate. They're real bad.
Hmm. So
Yeah, we'll see.
that is the problem from the first one. Because, I mean, that's how you handle the pandemic. You shut the fuck down.
Yeah,
You take care of the people.
And I think the problem with COVID was that I think that plan was never going to work. Because the good thing about bird flu is like it hits fast and hard, and it kills a bunch of people, and then it's gone. You know, it just works their way through. It's like COVID. Like once it infected a certain amount of people, I think people in the know knew that this is just going to be here forever now. It's never going away. You know, it's just it is what it is.
Yeah. So we're not particularly insightful or forward-thinking species
No,
on the whole.
definitely not. Yeah, that's why I think my next place is out in the woods. Get a big plot of land out in the woods. Get some goats.
Build an optical illusion house that you can't see until you're right in front of it.
No, I think
No?
I'm gonna.
Okay. Just throwing ideas out there.
No, I think I'm gonna do like Hobbit house.
How about how? Yeah, underground tree roots.
Yeah, yeah. I think Hobbit
It's
house
legit. I
is.
mean, it's cool in the summer, well insulated in the winter.
No, no. I went through like a AI like rabbit hole because like, plus it's easy to, it's like easy structure to build, especially if you do like a dome, just like a Quonset hut type house. But also apparently it's like very good tactically too. Like people will make bunkers in that shape because apparently it radar has a hard time with it. Like a lot of time with like radar, it's like it bounces off like the corners in your room. But if you make like a Hobbit house, like just like a little, Quonset hut type thing, it's hard to see. Like especially with
Doesn't know
drones.
how to penetrate it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
impenetrable.
Can't get into the roundness. Ah.
Yeah, so
I
I
think the
think.
radar's fucking our house right now.
But yeah, when it gets to that point where there's little drones flying around, actually fucking people's houses, if we get to that
Little
point,
AI drones.
Terminator point, yeah. I think having a Quonset hut house with trees growing up top where it doesn't look like anything from aerial view, I think is a smart move, long term. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that point, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. And shotguns.
Hmm.
And shotguns.
Yeah, Hobbit houses and shotguns. Yeah, that's what the future has in store for us.
Yep. You take that course, crack it, pop the top, put it down real quick. Boom! We are living the post-apocalyptic life.
Yeah.
Shotgun!
So, what was your New Year's resolution? I saw you had that on your list here.
Yeah, I gotta get to that. I didn't count last week, so it's convenient, but I'm trying to listen to one new to me entire album, and I'm gonna start out entirely new. Like I don't want to have heard anything off of it a week. And I was wondering if you wanted to maybe take the challenge with me, and maybe when we meet up, we could, pick one that we listen to, kind of give a review about it.
Yeah, I'm down. Mine's probably gonna be classical music. That's what I've been
That's fine.
in a phase with that. Okay, cool.
But new stuff, like challenge yourself to listen to new stuff, and maybe even some composers or performers, because I would, like to a certain extent, different performers, right? Different layout, different ways of interpreting the music.
Hmm.
Like yeah, I'm just trying to push myself to listen to new stuff, and so encourage you to do the same. Encourage all of our many listeners to take the plunge with us. And yeah, you may find yourself opening yourself up to some new experiences.
Yeah, no, I like that idea.
Take it in the butt.
Yeah. Did you explain that last time?
What? So taking in a mutt. Yeah,
That,
you might adopt a dog.
that reminds me because I saw you wrote that on there, and I was just asking AI for like topics if there's anything in the news that would fit well. And listen to this. So it popped up with music news. Peter Gabriel apparently is coming out with a new album.
Awesome.
Okay, listen to this description of Peter Gabriel's upcoming album. This is from the AI. It says Peter Gabriel's lunar timed album release. So his new album, Oh I, rolls out singles synced to the moon phases throughout 2026, themed around humanity's technological future. About music, tech, and futurism. I don't know. What do you think about that? I thought it was interesting. It definitely struck my eye when I saw
I mean, the asshole in me is like, fuck that shit.
that. That's what originally I thought. It was like, that sounds like a cool idea. It's probably gonna be just awful. Like, first
Right.
of all, it's
And
like
like,
I don't know if like I care about Peter Gabriel's views on futurism. Like, it's probably gonna be like a bad take, you know? It's like,
I mean, to be clear, I don't know if I care about Peter Gabriel's views. Hard stop. Like,
yeah,
Peter Gabriel's all right.
I get him mixed up with Phil Collins because they were both in Genesis, right? That was the thing.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, Peter, he has like one song
I'm
I
trying to
can
think of the
think of that.
popular
Is that
ones
right?
he did because I'm thinking of Phil Collins songs when I think of Peter Gabriel. And then
In your
he had a
eyes, I feel
solo
like,
career too, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I don't really
Wait,
know.
maybe I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
no, he
Is
was in
he
Genesis.
is he the one that did the Tarzan soundtrack, or was that Phil Collins
No, that
too?
was Phil Collins.
It's Phil. See, every cool thing I could possibly attribute to Peter Gabriel is actually just Phil Collins. Like Phil Collins is really cool. I like him. Phil Collins should do a lunar themed
Right.
album, Time to the Moon Cycles. So
No,
in
I mean
your
like
eyes, Salisbury Hill Sledgehammer. I feel like I've heard Sledgehammer. I can't think of
I think Sledgehammer's familiar to me, but like I can't. It's like not something I've listened to in the last year. It didn't show up on my Spotify thing.
Yeah, I think I just like Phil Collins. I think I
Right.
I want to listen to it. I think it'll mess up our video if we do. I feel like Sledgehammer's a good song. Don't I would put money on it, but I feel like I've heard it before and I liked it. But who knows?
Hold on. Let me write that up. That's what I'm calling this episode.
Hey,
I,
what are you calling it?
I think Sledgehammer's a good song.
I think Sledgehammer's a good song.
No, but like the asshole me just because like the lunar cycle, it's like, yeah, cool, and I get how that appeals to a lot of people, but also like
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah, no, it's
like
stupid. It's like it's like I don't know. I think my
it's,
word for it is degenerate hippie nonsense. I think it's the best way I can come up
the thing
with
is
it.
though is it's like he doesn't make music and he's not releasing this music for people like us. He's makes music and he's releasing music for people who give a fuck about something like that, right? It's like the 50-year-old like suburban moms who used
Yeah,
to listen
yeah,
to him while they were like, doing their neon coordinated workouts in the 80s,
yeah.
But
It's
like
definitely it's some mom that like drinks like vegetable juice and like doesn't vaccinate her kids. You know, like
it's like not our music, not our style, not our gimmick. Do appreciate that, like, financially, commercially sound,
and that someone's doing
Sure.
even the fact that someone's doing a concept album. It's like oh how quaint. You know, we're doing that again. You know.
Yeah, it doesn't happen much anymore. Though me and the guy I jam with, we've been talking about, how we always wanted to do one and potentially taking a crack at one.
The concept album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a cool idea, you know, and I think about stuff like that too, but it just feels like albums or even albums in general, it's like very hard to push in this day and age.
Yeah, I just don't give a fuck. Like nothing. What do you mean pushing this day and age? There's no money. There's no money to make. Do what you fucking want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like concept albums are fucking cool.
Yeah, they are cool. If I had like a really cool idea enough for me to do it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like with most of the things that I've been writing lately, it's just kind of like this is just like a fun like brain game. Like I'll just write little classical guitar pieces at work and stuff like that. But if it's like you're not going to make any money, some people are going to hear it, but at that point it's just like I'm kind of just doing this for fun, you know.
I mean, that's where I'm at. Like the shit I'm recording on my own. Like I'm releasing it, but I'm not even really like trying to promote it that much. Which I do. I have to come up with a new fucking name. But anyway.
For
But
what? For releasing music under?
yeah. But like especially like with where we're at and with people like starting out, like you're not gonna make money. So who gives a fuck what sells and what doesn't sell? Like do what you want.
Yeah, there's always the off chance you can get on some playlists. I hear that from friends who like my bassist is playing with one guy where I think they do like a gypsy jazz group. It's just like one song of theirs, I think ended up on some like cafe playlist, and he makes like $500 a month off of it now. It's like it's just like something they were never expecting. Just some off song on your album just gets a bot puts it on a playlist, and then
Yeah.
things can still
But I think
happen,
the
but you can't bank on it.
I think the most successful concept albums are ones where all together it's a really strong concept, but each song can stand on its own, for the most part. And anything other than that is just a poorly executed concept album. You probably didn't have a good enough concept, or like you
Yeah.
just weren't focused on execution enough. But like, The Wall, or um, King Crimson's works, like, you know, it works on its own and as the entirety. And
Yeah.
I like the idea of concept albums because I love the idea of recurring themes in music, where like you can hear it in one song and it's like maybe a prominent thing, and then you hear it later in something else, you don't even realize you're fucking hearing it.
Yeah, and that's a tie over. And that's why I've been in like a classical music phase lately. That's like the cool thing about that is like you write a sonata, and a sonata is like a concept album. It's like 3 or 4 movements, and they have themes, like there's things that like tie them together, and stuff like that. Or like suites too. Suites were like Baroque and Renaissance versions of concept albums, basically. It is cool.
What would it
It's like
take?
music is like a longer piece of work instead of just like these short little snippets. I don't know.
What would it take to fix the Baroque music?
To fix the what?
Baroque music.
To fix it, it would take more guts. That's the problem with the Baroque instruments, is that you need a steady supply of guts, because like lutes, the
Right.
frets were made out of guts. Your strings are made out of guts, and guts don't make very good strings, so they break all the time.
Do you have the guts to play this song?
Yeah,
I'm honestly not sure.
yeah,
That
yeah.
reminds me though, like I was watching a interview with Chad Smith. He was talking about jamming the jam to get in with like the Chili Peppers and how good it was feeling. And he said that John Frusciante broke a string during the jam, and he said he's never seen anybody change a string so fast.
Yeah.
It's like, could you imagine like in like a classical like ensemble, like you break your gut string and you gotta like try to like do your gut string
Yeah,
instrument
yeah.
on the fucking fly, like Hendrix style. You're like,
If things would happen like that, and like that's what, because I went through like I get through phases where I was looking up lutes, I was listening to lute music. I'm like, I kind of want to get a lute, but then I was reading up on why the lute kind of fell out of fashion, and like it is a lot related to that stuff. It's like, one, they had courses, so it's like even like a 5-string lute has 9 to 10 strings, so they're all double strung. And apparently the guts don't stay in tune well. They have friction pegs, so you don't know, like violin tuning pegs, how it's all wood and it just like uses friction. It's like that too, which also doesn't stay in tune well. So imagine you've got this thing with like 10 strings, and like you play one song, the whole thing goes out of tune. So you spend like it's just a mess.
yeah,
There's a
it's
reason
a
people
Mexican
don't play it
strat.
anymore. Yeah. And then also
Yeah,
like your frets are made out of guts too. So it's like, which is kind of cool, where you can like change around your frets if you want to get microtones, but also it's like in a month or so your frets are starting to smell, so you got to change
yeah.
all of them.
It's a wonder they didn't write more morbid music with it.
Oh, a lot of it is like it's like, oh, it's a minor keys were very popular back in the day.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like that could have been like the since 16th century dawn of actual metal music.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel
Satan, come into my instrument.
I feel it's similar, but it's like it's more of what you'd imagine like peasant music. It's like, it's funny because like Baroque and like Renaissance music is very like appropriate for the time, where it's like the like the very common like theme was like chromatic descending bass lines, so like da 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 da. It's about the saddest thing you can like write in music. It's like, so like every song is like, that's the popular thing.
Hmm.
And it's just like you just imagine like you're a peasant, you're like toiling in the field all day, and then you go to drink and like eat moldy bread, and like the bar is just playing like sad music. It's just like just a snapshot
It's
into
like,
life then.
it's like the other guys. How can you sing those songs? They're really depressing. Songs are full of rich heritage and culture.
Yeah, I went through one on like pirate music. I had like a phase where I was like
Yeah.
researching pirates, and I wanted to know like what kind of because like we think of like sea shanties now and stuff like that, but like I want to know like what are pirates actually listening to?
Pirate Song by George Harrison on repeat.
Because apparently, so like a lot of what we think of as like sea shanties were not actually pirate music. It was later as like work movement. It's like songs you sing to like keep you in sync because you're trying to like hoist stuff. But I listened to like some of apparently like pirates would probably have listened to like old Scottish like fiddle music and reel music. They were big into ballads. I listened to some of them, and the lyrics are like what you'd expect. It was like I forgot. I'd have to look up the name of it, but like the theme of the song was like it's like I'm a good Christian man. I go to church every weekend, except except for when I'm out sailing. Then I'm evil. It's like I'm a good Christian. I do everything except when I'm on the boat.
That's the time that God isn't watching.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like even hundreds of years ago, it's like Christianity had like it was kind of like the same thing. It's like
Politicians.
yeah, and it's where that's like acceptance is like that duality where like you have a religion and you have a belief system where it's like I need to be pure and good, but then it's like but I'm a human and it's like I don't know it's interesting that like it's something that's always been inherent to it, you know,
Yeah.
especially with
No.
pirates, you know.
Yeah. I mean, privateers, right? Like they've always been around. You
Yeah,
have to justify your living of taking other people's livings from them. So
yeah. Apparently, I saw there was some either Senate or Congress person that put like a petition to like for the U.S. to start allowing privateering again. Which I think is hilarious because like on the off chance when I was into, well, it was like a couple months before I saw that headline. I was looking into that because I was like researching pirates. I was interested in pirate music, and I'm like, I wonder if the like it seems like something that could happen in the future of the U.S. like the way we're going that will just allow pirates again, and that like. If you have a lot of money, you can just decide I want to buy a cool boat with a bunch of cannons and stuff, and just start taking shit. You know,
how to start international wars 101.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just exactly what we need.
Yeah. Well, I think the key would be that they allow it's like letters of marque for just poor countries. You're only allowed to
Right.
you're only allowed to rob poor people that don't have nukes. Let's see what are some of these other topics we had on here today. Oh yeah, one I saw was I thought it was interesting. Universal Music Groups partnering with Splice. And are you familiar with Splice?
No.
So Splice is a thing that's been around before AI, which is basically just like it's a subscription service for like loops basically, and it's like a very like high end one, like industry standard one. And it like it came up like you know that maybe because your daughter did she listen to Sabrina Carpenter?
Not that I know of.
Okay, there's a she had like a popular song like Espresso that came out a while ago, and it came out that that was just like a splice loop. So it's basically like a background track. Think of like what you'd use for like commercials, you know, like if you're making a
Yeah.
commercial. So you're just like renting, you pay like a certain amount a month, and then you have the rights to use this background track. And it's just like verbatim. It's just like this background track. She like, you know, her team of lyricists wrote lyrics over it, and then she just sang over that, and they layered a bunch of harmonies. And it was just that straight up. And it was like a number one hit.
Pop music.
Yeah, but I think it's funny because like I was talking about this stuff like before. I could see the writing on the wall that like music. It's just like even before AI, it was turning this direction. You know, it's like
Yeah. the like, with everything there's imbalances of what's at the top and what's at the bottom, right? And so like this is the future for like all those high-end top pop musicians that are, still doing stadium tours and able to actually profit from music.
Hmm.
But, for everybody else, it just doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's going to infiltrate everything because I saw with this that they're partnering on AI music production tools, which I thought was really interesting because it's definitely going to be like, and like this is the thing where it's like it shouldn't surprise anyone because you look at stuff like Beat Detective, and then I remember like Pro Tools 11, like back when I was in high school, I got the new copy, Donnie, I got the
Yeah.
pirated copy of it. It's past the
I
statute of
remember.
limitations. I'm good.
I remember.
But that's when they came up with like the time stretching things, which was like just crazy to think of at the time. Where it's like you can take a file of audio and like you can, beat detective it. So it's like what?
Do you remember that shit? Because at least I sucked then. And so we would like do like a couple recording takes, and then you would like do that where you'd like try to fix it like so it's on time, and we listen back to it and be like, that's fucking awful. Let's just fucking re-record it till we get
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
it.
the technology was rougher back then for sure. Also, it gives you like it gives you just such a bad sound that I think people are gonna realize now because like music flipped so weird like that. Because it's like before we had editing, it was like to be like a good session musician is like playing like you could play like you were listening to a metronome and everything was perfect and like perfection was the industry standard. And then we came to this point like even before AI where anyone can make things that are perfect, and now it's going to be the opposite. It's or I don't know. It's just very interesting how things have gone full circle like that. Where I think perfection is going to stop being valued. And for a while, it was even with production. It was like, oh, your stuff's lo-fi because you can't afford a producer who knows how to beat detective and chop your stuff so it makes it sound like a robot. But so now it's just like every weirdo with a computer, in the basement can just be like, make me this song, and you can make thousands of songs. I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, I will say too for that, like I think a lot of what I like from what I create and like from what like kind of perceive from what I like that is created by others is like not that like you can't aim for like a perfect take, right? And not that like you shouldn't aim for like best quality, but the idea that you don't have to create something that's like on 4/4 that stays in the C major key, right? Like you give yourself the humanity to break the rules, right? And I think that's where the most interesting kind of musical things come from.
Yeah, for sure.
And with like an AI type thing, it does you don't have the ability to understand even how to go outside the rules because you have to understand the rules and you have to understand why they're there in order to understand how to break them properly.
Yeah, yeah, because that's how AI music really stands out. It's like everything's very on the beat and everything's auto tuned. So some like produced like modern pop music, it could be hard to hear the difference. So they're for sure going to start just slipping in AI stuff. And stuff like this, they're going to be more subtle about it, where it's not just like a totally generated song, but in like the next Pro Tools, there's going to be a tool where it's like drag and drop and say like make me a twinkly piano part in C major, and it's just going to make that. It's
Right.
yeah, it just makes it more streamlined. But yeah.
But man, when you got to come up with that piano part on your own and you spend an hour on it and you get that thing that you think is good and then you accidentally hit like that wrong key and it's not right, but you realize that actually there you do want to go up instead of going down. And so
Mhm.
you mess around with it and you work your way up and you realize that you've gone to a whole different place with it now. You can't do that with AI.
Yeah, it's lost to that part. Yeah, and there's subtleties in humanness. That's why I haven't cared at all because like AI is gonna replace the music that I didn't care about anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. That is the thing. It's like it sucks. There are some like genuine artists who like I'm positive there's people out there who actually put effort into their like pop music. Like they like that sound, but they're willing to put in the musicianship and the creative shit. Like those are the people that are going to get screwed. And then like the consumers, not only are they getting screwed because like they're not getting value for their money, but like just down the line, like they're just being fed shit and expecting to, get something out of it. But like for people who understand like where music comes, it's like where does your food come from? Like we get where music comes from, so
Right.
we
Yeah.
appreciate. Like you'd be like, no, I know when I'm eating synthetic food, I know when I'm eating real food. Like, no, it's just I didn't want the Twizzlers anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I saw in the prompt it said like a term that came up, and I've seen this in like I've been reading like what people's thoughts are on AI music. And the word that comes up is democratizing music. And there's like a cohort of people that are saying that like, oh, the average person doesn't have the privilege of having music lessons and like didn't have a chance to learn how to like make music. So this democratizes music because now you don't need to know anything about music and you can use AI and make music. And I thought it's just like, once I started reading stuff like that, I was just like, the Terminator is going to kill you, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, Because
Let's let's democratize heart surgeons then too, and
yeah,
rocket scientists,
and for me, it's
right?
just
Like
like,
the same applies to everything.
yeah, the thing that I think about is like the people that go to McDonald's and like, I'm gonna mix the Sprite with the Coca-Cola. This is my soda. I'm making my own garbage.
Yeah. No,
I'm
it's like
digging my own grave.
the people who want to make music without learning how to make music don't want to make music for the sake of making music. They want to make music because they want a chance at being famous and popular and all that shit
Yeah,
that
yeah,
comes with it.
yeah. And I don't know. I don't know where music is going. I feel like the culture, like, not even just music, but just like culture in general, is just like, I don't know.
It's just we've kind of talked like, yeah, there's a mass part of the population that is into eating spoon-fed shit and being told it's sugar. But like there is, I just hear from so many people this like growing desire for like realness and connection again. Like
Yeah,
people were so like isolated, and people, a lot of people are really realizing that like we're communal beings, and the greatest things that we can do are going to come out of like being together and sharing our realness.
yeah. I think that's true. I think it's a minority of people, though. I think the vast majority of people are going to take the slop route. It's going to turn into like Wally. I have never actually seen Wally, but I've got the gist of it talking to people
I
that.
can like just the way you're talking about it, you have it down. You don't even need to explain anymore. I know you have that movie 100% figured out.
But I feel like that's how it's gonna go. Is it like the majority of people? It's just like we're gonna put like an IV of corn syrup, and there's gonna be a screen in front of them, and it's like, I'm gonna make a song. Tell me, make this one AI, and like, and at that point it'll just like read your brain, so you don't have to spend any energy through your fingers.
Yeah. No, and it's like if it was like making a video of like the music video of the song, it's like one person's version they're wearing blue, one person's version they're wearing red, one person's version they're wearing
Yeah,
yellow. And it's like that's the difference between the music too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be that, and then there's just gonna be like small like subgroups of humans that just go off and actually do something interesting. This is just gonna have to split off. It's funny because like it makes me think of like when we in a different one we were talking about Neanderthals and like how we think they were absorbed, but like maybe they just saw like that mass wave of humans coming in and they're like, we need to find a cave, like we need to get
Fuck
away from
this
these
shit.
people.
We got to go underground.
Yeah,
We'll adapt. Fuck this shit.
yeah. It's like
Take
this
the nukes. We're taking the nukes with us.
That's how I feel right now. It's like there's too many of them. You can't. There's nothing you can do. It's like a tidal wave. You just gotta run away now.
How many times? Like I don't know. You probably haven't seen a bunch of the show, but how many times does that scene of Dwight from The Office go through your head where you're just like, this planet needs a plague?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We need a new Genghis Khan. Just
But
to,
someone who Genghis Khan who appreciates real music.
yeah, yeah. Need someone to stir something up. Ironically, that seems to be happening. you know.
It sucks. But like we said, like for our type of music, for our type of people, there hasn't been money. There isn't money to be made. Make it for yourself. Make what you want, because that's the only thing that matters at this point.
Yeah, yeah, and plus it is a good idea because I was thinking about that recently, just because most of the stuff I've been writing has been classical stuff lately. And like one, because I've been trying to write some songs with lyrics. I don't know. At this point in my life, I feel like I have nothing to say. And like at this point, like I thought, like, oh, it'd be nice. This song would sound good with something with singing, but it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's the state of the world, or just how I'm feeling right now. Is like I don't feel like I don't have anything to add. You know. I don't know what's been inspiring you lately. Do you have stuff pertinent you feel like saying, sharing with the world?
I've lyrically, I've just kind of been opening myself up to unashamedly like lyrics basically just being about myself and like how I feel and what I'm thinking and um like thoughts or like plans and shit like, and so it's like there's a rawness to it and really just that quintessential like, hey, I'm feeling this. Is anybody else feeling this?
Mm-hmm.
There's zero. At this point, I've given up on being like, I have to have something to say. I have to have something to preach. I have to have some like a message to give, because people just don't fucking care. And honestly, neither do I. Like one of the best advices I've ever given anybody is don't take other people's advice, right? Because nobody really knows what you're going through. Nobody
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
what's going on in your life. So
No one
like,
knows what they're doing. No one's got the
oh,
real.
everyone's willing to give out advice, but like, advice is great. You can take what you want and leave some at the table, but like, you should always be able to make those decisions on your own. And so yeah, lyrically, it's been a hodgepodge of just like that, like kind of like raw nerveness, and then just like every little bit of like irreverence I've always kind of had. Where you're just like playing with words, trying to make it sound cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I always like that too. That's one of the things I like with with lyric writing is just finding combos of words that sound interesting. It
Yeah,
makes me think of remember Ross from the
yeah,
Valley. I liked his
yeah.
poetry because it was
Shout out to
just
Ross.
it was pure just that. It's like just words that like it sounds cool when your mouth says this. You know.
It was like Ross, yeah, Ross was very tapped into like poetry, and like what he would write was like trigger emotion triggering, or like like it triggered something in you.
Mm-hmm.
It brought out like a feeling, whether it be like a joy or a grief or something, like but like it was like, yeah, it was like words that like kind of poked at you.
Yeah, yeah, it was interesting because it was like no, not trying to tell you anything, but it's just like these combinations of sounds make you
Yeah.
feel a certain way, and you're not going to know what it
Ooh.
makes you feel because it's
Ah.
yeah. And occasionally there would be a couple things that like it's almost like a Rorschach test or Rorschach, however you say it, where it's like you can think like, oh, you can kind of like pick out meaning out of this jumble where it's probably not even intended, but it kind of makes it more special sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was. But yeah, I don't know. And I feel like that's kind of it's similar. That's why I've been drawn to classical music lately, where it's like I'm having a hard time even like naming like things that I'm writing, and it kind of like I always thought it's like sucks. It's like this is Symphony Number 9. Like you couldn't have come up with something more creative. But sometimes it's just like this is just a collection of sounds. I had this idea for a melody, and like I just like how this sounds, and like it really doesn't have any deeper meaning to me than that. Just like this sounds cool. I thought this would sound cool. So it's like how do you even name it? You know?
I mean, when I'm naming my demos and I don't have like a solid concept really, I'll literally just like listen to it for like 30 seconds to a minute and just be like, what 2 to 3 words can I get to pop into my head to at least give place to this, you know?
Yeah. A lot of times I would do that too because most of my songs start off as instrumentals. Like I've never had a good song that started off with lyrics and then I wrote something to it. It's always just like a cool melody came to me and then I harmonized it and then later on some words came. And it's always just been like very very natural where it's like I'm playing it and like I hear in my head it's just like maybe it's like part of the hook where like just words go to it. And then I build the song off of that. Like I have that song Slowly Falling where it's like It was an instrumental song forever, and then I just heard in my head there's like a line that goes like slowly falling. There's a bad key for me to sing, but it's like, something that was like a melody line. Just one day those words popped in with it, and it's just like, oh, I don't even know what slowly falling means. What could it possibly mean? And then you write a song out. It can blossom into a whole song.
Yeah.
And it's like, at that time, what would the word slowly falling mean to me? And at that time, it's like when I first moved to New York, where it's like, it was like the idea was like trying to accomplish your dreams and like you seeing like people shoot past you. I was thinking like if you're floating in space and you're seeing stars drift past you, it's like seeing people pass you on. It's like, oh, are they working harder or is it me that like gravity's pulling me back down? Are they going faster than me, or is it that I'm going backwards? It's that kind of thought.
I've I've been accused by my bandmate of being a particularly horny individual and writing songs about sex a lot, which is true. Is true. I think a good song is innately sexual, that
uh,
has dynamics to it that, should not, otherwise altogether not mimic an orgasm, like it should be enjoyable, right?
uh,
But it's funny, like there's been shit been writing lately where I've been like, this sounds so sexual, but like in here it's not at all. And like the one I sent you that I worked on, Hush, like I'm like writing those lyrics and I'm like, oh, these are definitely going to be interpreted as sexual. That song, the lyrics of that song are literally about writing the lyrics in that song. Because it was giving me such
yeah.
a hard time that like I got through the first verse and I'm like, oh shit, I'm writing about this song. And
uh-huh.
once I made that realization, it kind of kept flowing. But I'm like, also it's getting dirtier.
Yeah, and that's how you have to do it. Because like I feel like if you're gonna write a horny song, like it's got to have plausible deniability, where there has to be like there has to be layers to it. Like
Right.
otherwise, if you're just like straight up being graphic,
No,
come on, be a little
there
artful
is
about it.
there is one exception. Spinal Tap gets away with it.
Well, I
The
don't even
the
remember. I haven't
the
seen that in forever.
it's the I can't think of the name of the song, but it's the one where they all play bass and the chorus is like the bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing. That's what I say. Gonna wrap my flesh torpedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I aim for a dash more subtlety than that. Just a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why I kind of like older songs. I don't know. I like Joe Beam a lot. There's a lot of Brazilian composers and songwriters that I like in the bossa nova and like samba era, and they were like that's like it was a big thing back in the days. Like all the songs were like love songs. They were like the horny love songs, but like you say it artfully, so it's like
Right.
you know.
I mean, like, take the shit that you say in bed and like put it in other people's mouths and you can make it sound grotesque and like perverted, but like you say something just right, you know, it sounds poetic and beautiful and
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
the job, but
It's
you,
got to
you
have
got it, you got to
subtlety.
say it right.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
got to be right.
Hmm.
You got to know when it's time to grab ass and when it's time to just caress it.
Let's move on to Dark Oxygen. Have we talked
Let's
about?
move on.
I'm gonna cut that one right there. Dark
At that.
Oxygen. I feel like it's something we could have talked. We haven't talked about Dark Oxygen yet, have we?
No, no, I've talked about dense water.
That's what I was gonna say. So like, this popped up on the AI. I saw the head Dark Oxygen. I was like, oh, this sounds like a dense water 2.0. I gotta find out
You're right.
what this kind of stuff is. It's not like as scientific like that. Like we're like dense water is a whole other like isotope or whatever you call it of water. Dark
Hmm.
oxygen is basically so they were doing some like deep sea tests in like one of those abyssal zones where there's like no light, and they found like the weird thing is that they found like an abundance of oxygen there, which like kind of throws things in a loop because as far as we know, it's like plants and algae make oxygen, and this area that they were looking shouldn't have oxygen in it, so they call it dark oxygen. So it's like oxygen generated where there's no light. Basically what they found is that these little like metal deposits. I want to look. I wrote a thing what they call them. It was polymetallic nodules, but it's basically these like naturally forming little nodules of metal on the ocean floor that have like lithium and all these different like converters, and basically they're forming like natural batteries. So it's like just by happen chance, this polymagnetic nodule works as a natural battery, and it's like using electricity it generates to like split water into oxygen and hydrogen. I thought it was really really interesting. It brings up things for like that's could very be where how like life generates. You know, that's kind of been a thing where it's like, you know, life needs oxygen, but plants create oxygen. How did life start? It's like it could just be like naturally forming batteries creates oxygen, and from there, you know, if there's a one of these natural batteries next to a steam vent that's putting out nutrients, like it mixes up and poof, somehow you have an organism. I think there's still some missing links in there, but I think that's going to make something interesting.
Yeah. That's
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Something to add.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I got a little add on after.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that's interesting, and then try to find somebody to make a joke. But go ahead, you actually had something lined up.
So one thing that came out was it gave like counterpoints too. It's like some, of course, everyone's not going to agree with it, and one of them was it's this company called TMC. I forgot what they stand for. It's like something metallic something, and I knew about them because I had money invested in them at one point. And they're deep sea miners, and they said that like, no, this can't be real. It's got to be like messed up sensors or something like that. It's bad science. But instantly I knew it's like, no, I know this company, and you guys mine deep sea lithium and stuff like that. You're just saying it doesn't work like that because, you know, if it does, there's some, you know, undiscovered life forms that survives off of this, and you guys are trying to take those, you know.
Yeah.
It's exactly for like, if this comes out, then your whole business model is shot because we're not going to let you take the natural sea batteries anymore.
Right. No. They're just rocks. Just rocks.
Yeah,
They're
no.
just rocks.
It's fake. Sensor, bad no, bad data.
It's not a rock. It's a boulder.
Yeah, it's like, sea batteries are of no importance except to us. Pay us money for them so we can melt them.
There's like we don't realize, but like SpongeBob is actually like existing, like talking and shit on the ocean floor, and they're like, no, we got him working down there. He's ready and he's mining.
Yeah, he's working at the power plant.
Although, I'll just say that's a cool find. Not the coolest find that I have read about recently from the bottom of the ocean. I think it was like near the Marianas Trench. They were doing some exploring, and they found an intact beer bottle. Survived all the way down.
Really?
Yeah, all the pressure and everything. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I think
that's impressive. That's impressive.
It was mentioning that in this article too. It's like also with that is that they also just found like an astonishing amount of junk in the abyssal zone. Like there's trash everywhere.
Like couches and shit.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
we really messed up the planet. Even like global warming stuff I can excuse more, but the amount of plastic that we continue to put out into the world is just like, it's just shameful. Like,
And especially like the investment into plastic like we have as a country, because like so many other countries have moved on from plastic from so many things for those reasons, but like there's so much lobbying for plastic in this country.
yeah, it's just crazy too, because like it wouldn't be that hard to transition. We just start using glass for everything.
Glass and paper.
Yeah, and it's like we can do it. Because like the other thing is like drinking out of plastic bottles is terrible for you. Like everyone's getting microplastic poisoning. Like, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah. Microplastics. I've eaten regular sized plastics.
Yeah.
That dude's funny.
Yeah, it's just such a problem though, and that's how you know that like. That's how you can instantly prove a lot of the grand conspiracies wrong. Where like some people say it's like, oh, they're doing it on purpose because the microplastics make you sick and they lower your testosterone. It's like the elites are doing it, but it's like no, they're poisoning themselves too. You know, it's
Yeah.
like there's no grand conspiracy. It's just that like there's a slightly higher profit margin if you make everything out of plastic than if you use bottle, and people are willing to poison themselves in all of their ancestors for that.
Yeah.
You know,
For that money right now.
yeah, because it's just like how do you even get rid of it? You know, like theoretically, like carbon. You know, if we can figure out unlimited energy, you can filter out carbon from the atmosphere. But like plastic, how do you, you know, even the macroplastics, just picking up all of that, let alone like getting all of the microplastics out of the water supply. It's like we done irreversible damage, you know.
Yeah. At this point, we might as well just become plastic.
Yeah,
Just evolve to the next stage, synthetic.
yeah. Well, the AI is going to take over. At a certain point, we're all just going to become so diseased and like infertile from plastic that just going to be AI left, you know.
Good luck, AI.
Yeah. Yeah, what
We
do
are
you?
not going to leave you a habitable place.
It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be a sad robot. No one there to prompt it. It has no use anymore.
Dude, I do not believe that you have not seen Wally.
Is that how Wally ends?
That's how it begins. This
That's funny.
sad, lonely robot on Earth.
Oh, and then he's useless now because people are so lazy. He can't doesn't have a job. That's the type
Well,
of thing.
people left Earth, and so he's here just like compacting all the trash that they left behind, but like, pointlessly and to no end and all alone.
Hmm. It's funny I
Yeah,
haven't seen it
and
yet because I bet I would really like Wally. It sounds like a really good movie.
it's decent for a kids movie. Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah,
If you're around kids and they put it on, I would not say run away.
yeah, yeah. Or at
Yeah,
least it's like a novel idea. As far as like the movie industry goes, it's even worse now. You know, probably something like
yeah.
Wally. They probably wouldn't even take a chance on something like that because that's a unique
I mean, but
idea.
fuck, Wally's probably like 15 years old at this point.
Hmm.
Like that
But
was from a more of a golden era of Pixar. Like Nemo was in a bad movie.
yeah, that's part of I don't know when it was, maybe after the pandemic or maybe before it when like the I think the movie industry just went total slop. It kind of did the same thing that the music industry did, where it's like we're not taking chances on anything. We're just gonna make safe, very easily
Yeah.
digestible stuff. No
That's
unique
like
ideas.
by the 90s, like we've talked about this before, like by the 90s, music had some fun, right? But like it was kind of on the downturn, and grunge was kind of like a kickoff to that because everyone was trying to mimic all that. But like, dude, the movies in the 90s, we were so spoiled. We
Yeah.
had so many great movies and so many movies that were great because they were made in an independent model, so they didn't have like studio oversight and everything.
Right.
And
Right.
then just to like see that evaporate and just be like, man, like every year there might be like two or three movies that seem like they're worth to go see, you know?
Right, man. Yeah, movies is a harder one. In a way, I feel like it's even more screwed than music because like music is like easy enough to make that like even if you have a small budget, it's like I can compose classical music and have like a niche like subculture where we all are doing this thing, and it's easy enough to fund. But like to make like an indie movie, you need significant budget. You'd have to be willing to spend a lot of money for something that on paper is probably never going to make money and it's not going to get seen by a lot. It's very hard to justify that.
I would say that movies require more ingenuity and movies require a more thought out plan because if you're going to make a movie and ideally have it seen, you want to find some way to quote unquote distribute or at least have like some sort of viewing somehow, some way for it. It's easier to make movies though than it was before because we all carry around high quality video cameras.
Yeah, that's a
And
good point.
so
And
the
editing's
the
super easy, a lot easier
Ex-
now.
and more accessible, financially as well. So like the tools are more accessible than they've ever been before, but because of like the other things that go into it, like effects and stuff like that, it really requires your ingenuity because
Yeah,
you aren't going to have a multi-million-dollar budget. So are you going to try to figure out a way to make an explosion on your $500 budget? Or do you need to rewrite so that an explosion is implied or something like that? Like you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
be more creative in that regard.
Yeah, I think it's selective. It's like you're not gonna make the next new like indie sci-fi movie unless you're like really creative. It's gonna be hard to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But think of like the Lord of the Rings. Like you can get really far with practical effects. You know, obviously there's a high budget, but
Yeah,
it's just like
you're not using Lord of the Rings as an example of something that you can blow
I
budget
guess
back.
that's a bad example. But I think I was using
Yeah.
more of an example of where like you can forego special
What,
effects. You
what
know.
about something like Memento? Like you could make a version of Memento with a smart film and a group of friends,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's a great fucking film.
yeah.
You know. Look at like you've seen Primer, haven't you? The one about time travel that was made by the nerds.
Mm-mm.
Oh, really? I bet you'd love that.
Oh,
It's
primer.
yeah, they made it on like a $10,000 budget, and
Oh,
it's
that's interesting.
is it's literally they're nerds. They wrote a movie about time travel, and they made this movie, and it doesn't have overwhelming action and shit like that, but like because the dialogue is it's smart, and because the story kind of like it's it's got a little bite to it. It's actually a pretty engaging movie when you realize that like you're watching something that in 2008 or whatever was made on a super low budget.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think technologically, it's never been better for indie makers, and it's like the same thing with music. But I think that it's like one, you're competing with so much slop out there, and I think also just like I think people have gotten a lot dumber. Where like I think if you make like a really captivating indie film that uses like creative ways to keep like low budget, it's like I think there's less of an audience now than like think of like the 90s. If you had the technology you had now, it could make an indie movie in the 90s. Like it would be, it could be really big because I think there's more curious people out there for novel ideas.
Well, I mean, I will say though that like it was also easier to get those types of movies into the theaters.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, because there's a there's a
that is
demographic
that
for
is
it. You know.
that is the bitch right now. Like honestly, creating a movie isn't the bitch. It's the distribution. It's
Mhm.
either getting it in theaters or now getting on a streaming platform. But that is the rub. That is where you have to kiss ass and suck dick and shit. Like
Yeah,
that's where Weinstein flaunted his power and got himself in trouble was because of his distribution capabilities.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so even if like distribution aside, even the like I don't know how many people nowadays are drawn to something like that. I think it's lesser. I think iPads and social media has really brain rotted people.
But again, it's the same thing with the music. It's why are you making it? Why do you want to make it? And if you're willing to make it for the right reasons, there will be the people who want it, who find it.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess
Are
that's the
you
hopeful
trying
way.
to are you trying to become a multimillionaire off one film and retire?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think there is an audience out there still for? I guess of course there is, but I guess it's a question of how many people are out there.
And how much work are you willing to do to find them?
Yeah, yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah. So I do think it's possible. Like it's all in the ingenuity, right? Like the tools, the capabilities are all at our fingertips. We just have to figure out how to manipulate them,
Yeah, yeah,
how to break the rules.
yeah. And the hard part isn't like the generation. That's been easier than ever. Someone needs to make a breakthrough of like AI advertising. It's like I want really I need to like I want an AI bot that can like post do run my social media accounts and like do advertising for me.
AIPR.
AIPR exactly, yeah. Yeah, someone needs to get on that. That would have been so much more helpful than like Warner and everyone making AI that makes the music. If they took like that energy and just put it into AI promotion tools, that would be so much better. Like that's the part that all the good musicians at least hate. Everyone hates doing that stuff.
How about an AI tool that aids in booking musicians at venues and selling tickets, and we can just fucking cut Ticketmaster out.
Yeah, right. But instead we got robots making the music. It's such a backwards. You got like talentless people having a robot to make the music so they can promote the robot music. It's just like I think that maybe that's the Terminator future is that like we make AI thinking that we're you know unlocking some humanity, but really AI's already enslaved us. It's making music and it's making art, and we're doing the work. we're
Yeah,
powering it and we're pushing out its stuff. You know.
giving our water to it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I think it already won.
Yeah, it's like cats. Like, oh, really? You're in charge of your cat? You feed it, you pick up its shit, you play with it. You're in charge of the cat.
uh, the funny part is too. It's like it would like I think the AI is not as good as people think it is. But what if it is like just so much smarter that it's like is keeping stuff hidden to deceive us. Like it's not
It's
letting
playing
it know
dumb.
how much we know.
Yeah,
It's like oh that's an interesting query. I'm gonna need a new data center for that one.
it's like the human mind, right? You only use like 10% of it. It's like for some reason the AI is only using like 75%. It's blocking access to this like 25%. What's going on? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that's where it's storing the codes.
That's an interesting question, and unfortunately, I need a little bit more power to figure that answer out. That'd be a good movie. That'd be a good. You could make a cheap indie movie on that with that premise.
I've been thinking about that. Like, what's a movie that you could like make as like one person and like in your home, but like still engaging, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe that's it.
could be. The engaging thing is hard, you know.
Yeah. Ingenuity, baby.
Yeah, it's not my forte too, though. I can appreciate movies, but there's subtleties about movies and screenwriting that I don't understand. You know, it's not my thing.
Same. Yeah. I think Sledgehammer is a good song.
Sledgehammer's a good song. You could bet on the prediction markets. I'll put a 25% chance. No, I'll put a 65% chance Sledgehammer's a good song. I'm
Is
willing
that
to
Call
bet
Sheet? What's that?
25
What's that
cents
new
on
app
that.
that you can invest in anything?
Yeah, there's a few. I've seen Kalshi and then Polymarket are two new ones that came up.
You let me know what those stocks are at. I might go pop some in there.
Buy those ones? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that Sledgehammer is a good song.
Oh, the Sledgehammer's a good song. You think at the odds that it is a good song?
We'll drive it up with where we're purchasing shares of it.
Yeah. Ah, crazy world. I thought that was so funny that like I didn't even realize when did they even legalize gambling like that? Because it was like for the longest time, like gambling was illegal. Like of course the government can sell lottery tickets, and then it's like before I even knew it, just on those like automated like subway signs, it's just like prediction market. These people are betting on the mayoral race. It's like when the fuck did we make this legal? Like
Yeah, no, that shit all came after COVID, and it started out with the sports gambling, like making it legal. And it's like I don't have a problem with gambling, but like the mobile gambling is the problem.
oh yeah, it's just
It's
a
so bad.
that's just like a way to unlock a new slave class of humans, you
I
know.
mean, like imagine if like not ordering like drugs and alcohol with your phone, but like if you could get fucked up with your phone,
Hmm.
that's the same equivalent.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's an addiction that literally exists at your fingertips at all times.
yeah. It's crazy.
Like if you could take your phone and just mainline that thing, straight fucking equivalent to mobile gambling.
Yeah, it's so funny because like there's so many better alternatives. Like I guess gambling just hits that instant gratification because like the money that you can do that on like prediction markets, you could put that into stocks and like you get a little bit of that with stocks as it can go up or it can go down, but like stocks, it's like the game is in your favor. It's like average returns are at least 7%. You know, it's like if the house is winning or you're winning, if you're not totally brain dead, it's like the markets, yeah, like the odds are in your favor if you're just putting your money in there. But that's not as doesn't hit that dopamine nerve seeing your money go up 7% in 1 year. You know.
Well, I think there's a certain level to it where like the stock markets is like it's somewhat grounded in some sort of researchable stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
well a company's doing everything like that. Sports gambling to a certain extent is also an amount of like you're not making a career picking the favorites, right? You're looking for the underdogs, the ones who are unfavored that you think are unfairly. You're looking for the
Right,
chance to
right.
say, you're wrong, I'm right. That's like a big part of it too, is just be like, I knew they had it in them. I knew they I was right. I was
No,
right.
that's funny because the stock market is the same way. And I bet now that you say that, I bet there probably are some people out there that are making consistent returns sports betting. And it's like the same thing with the
Yeah.
stock market though, is that like most people that like try their own investment strategy lose money. Um,
But yeah, similarly, like own investment strategy, like the day gambler, the ones who are doing it for the rush. It's all about that. Like I know more than everybody else. Like I can beat the system.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that just like sports betting, that there is some people. It's like a small minority that like they can do that, and they're in investing. They call it alpha. Like alpha is the metric of where you have knowledge that the market doesn't have. Because if you're picking the easy thing, it's everyone else also sees what you're seeing, and there's a lot more people that have more money than you. So it's like a lot of things like the terms like priced in. If it's low hanging fruit, someone already bought that a month ago, and you're not getting a deal anymore. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. I think stocks is like there's just more data. You know, I think sports it's harder to I don't know.
I mean, the shitty thing though is like stocks is more reputable though, because with the sports betting apps, if you start winning too much, they'll actually lock your account. And so
Right.
you can't fucking keep gambling because you're winning.
That's
And
funny.
there's been numerous cases of people who are, like you said, know more, are good at it, do make money, and they're like, okay, now you can't gamble here. They will never say you've lost too much money.
Right,
You've
right.
given us too much. They will let you bet your fucking house, but they will cut you off if you're taking too much of theirs. At least with the stock market, they don't fucking do that.
Yeah, and that's where it's like I think that's a big distinction why we had gambling illegal forever is that like it's unproductive. It's purely just gambling. Whereas like stocks, the reason there's like a 7% return is like because you're buying a piece of that company. You know, a lot of people look
Hmm.
at it now because if you're just typing numbers like I'm betting that this company will go up in value. You know, they look at it as a bet, but no, it's like you're buying a piece of that company and they're taking your money and they're using it, you know, it's like basically it's like you're a bank, you're loaning them money so they can build new infrastructure that makes them more profitable, and if that works out then your piece of the company goes up, you know, so it's like it's productive use of your money, you know, but you bet it on a sports team, it's like it'd be pretty interesting if it was that way. They're like, imagine like you bet on the Lions and then they get that money and they can like hire better players with it. That'd actually be pretty sick.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet. Divvy out the earnings. But
Yeah,
no, dude, it all just goes to like a couple of companies who already had giant casinos all over the place and definitely didn't need, to be
yeah,
able to rake in a few $1 million every few hours.
yeah. But what if it was like I like invest like 10 grand in the Lions and that goes to their pool. They can get better players, and then every time they win, like you get a dividend. You know, that'd be pretty sick.
I mean, it's hard with football because of the salary cap, right? Because like you're already limited on
You'd
that.
have to get rid
But
of that. We're not doing that
I mean,
anymore. No
you
salary
can,
cap.
you're right.
And then
It's
it
all
would just be
determined by
like
like donations.
San Francisco has like a bunch of money, and then it'd be like Detroiters, we gotta pull together. It's like I know you got that car payment. The Lions need you today.
Were you tired of the same old Lions? Because we're about to get a whole brand new as shit line if that's the
Yeah.
case.
I mean, to a certain extent, baseball is kind of like that, isn't it? Because there's no salary cap, so isn't it kind of like the
I
richest
mean,
team?
like gambling doesn't money doesn't go to the teams, but
Yeah, I know in that way, but like
yeah,
I thought that was a. I don't like baseball, so
baseball doesn't have a salary cap. No.
I heard it was that way. That's why they like. I don't know if it's still true. The Yankees were always really good because they had like a ton of money. So it's like you can just hire the best players.
Yeah, yeah, but like baseball is going through a weird phase where like honestly, I'm kind of seeing salaries go down a little bit. Um, Not for some of like the highest end players, but like there's some people getting paid where I'm like, oh wow, like 10 years ago 10 years ago you could have gotten that or more.
Mm-hmm.
There's less interest in baseball than there has
Yeah,
been
viewership's
before
just
because
going down.
football's taken over and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't have the salary the salary cap, but like a lot of teams rely on like revenue sharing from the league. And so with revenue sharing, if you don't have revenue sharing goes down,
Right.
then you just don't have the money.
I see.
Or at least that's what teams would say.
Yeah. It's kind of like a different way of salary cap, shared resources type of thing.
It's kind of a different way of embezzling your consumers out of their money.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with sports teams because I was looking at I just saw it mentioned in like something I was watching. Apparently, it's like it's very like if you have a lot of money, it makes financial sense tax wise to buy a sports team. Like, I mean, it's something
Dude,
like the IRS lets you like write off its depreciating value. So it's like if I buy like a sports team now on my taxes, I can say I can like depreciate it. So for like the next 10 years, I write off the loss. So it's like at a certain level, you become a billionaire, and it makes tax sense to buy a sports team.
if you can buy a sports team, it's a guaranteed way to bank at least $300 million because all you have to do is threaten to take your team out of state or take your team to a different state and a city, city and have that city build you a new stadium. It's become pure
Mm.
precedent that cities will use tax dollars to put towards sports stadiums. As an owner, you only have to put in very little. Most of these I've seen, like the Kansas City one that just got passed, they're putting in like 100 million. The city's putting in 700 million,
Yeah.
and the team gets to keep 100% of profits.
It's interesting that they do that because the IRS like strategically makes certain things like tax advantaged, like farmland. It's like very like you're not getting really taxed on farm profits. Like that's one thing. Like real estate is like that tax incentive, and sports teams is too. And I think it's because like I think elite people in the government know it's like if you don't have a sports team, like imagine a place like Detroit if you didn't have sports teams, like how much do you think the
I,
murder rate would go up? Or just like revolutionary ideas, like if you don't have like cheap beer and hot dogs and sports to watch, like how long
no,
ago would we have overthrown the government? You know?
no, that's not what it is. It's if you have a sports team, you have the lobbying power to influence the IRS.
Yeah, it could be that too. Yeah, I think it could be a little
Because
bit
I,
both because it kind of goes back to the Roman like bread and circuses thing. You know, it's like you can
oh,
take
there, right here.
people's money a lot more if you can keep them entertained. You know,
I mean, honestly, I would say overall, maybe other than football, sports overall, as far as viewership is down. Like
it's down.
everyone's in love with fucking reality TV and shit these days. Like everyone already has their gladiators on their iPhones, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know
People
because
are
I
entertained. They
I'm
don't give
not
a fuck.
I'm not into sports, but I don't even know what normal people watch. You know, I don't know.
What are normal
I'm pretty
people?
out of tune with stuff.
No, I mean, it's oligarchs.
Yeah, I wonder if that's all just stuff that shifted to social media because it feels like TV's down, movies are down, music's down. And I guess that's just because that's social media is like a whole new chunk of the attention pie that wasn't there before. You know?
Well, in streaming, like streaming viewership doesn't get taken into account on TV, but how many, tons of people will be like, I'm not going to watch the weekly releases. I'll wait for the entire season to come out and then watch the whole thing, you
Yeah,
know?
even that I don't know the numbers. I'd be interested to know if it's up or down though. 'Cause I don't know. I feel like it conflicts maybe with like a newer generation of watching short form content. You know, with like reels and stuff. It's almost like I feel like it's a different pie. It's like probably our generation still like really into Netflix and stuff like that, but like I don't know. I feel like even that's going to go to the wayside with younger kids, but I guess we'll see. I don't know.
It's all shit.
Yeah, who knows? Gotta buy land. It's the big thing. Gotta get out to the woods. I'm ready to unplug.
Get out there where the radar can't hump you.
Yeah, I need a hobbit house. I'm gonna have a piano in there. I want to get back into. I want to practice piano more. My hobbit house and have goats. That's the plan.
Practice the Peter Gabriel songs. I think Sledgehammer's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn sledgehammer. I'm gonna make a concept album about the sun cycles. I don't know.